Alright, what's going on, everybody? We are live for the Cowboys and the Vikings on Sunday Night Football. I'm on a few minutes wait, and the Cowboys just faked a field goal. And they've got the ball 3 minutes in on the Viking 23-yard line. But sorry I'm on a little bit late. But welcome to the stream, everybody. Should be a pretty interesting game. J.J. McCarthy's already thrown a pick for the Vikings. And that's how the Cowboys have gotten here to about the Viking 25. But welcome to the stream. Should be an interesting one. So it's a 2nd and 8 here for the Cowboys on the Vikings 21. Vikings bring pressure. Dak gets rid of it quickly. It's caught and taken down at about the 13-yard line. Going to be enough for a first down. Actually, make it the 11-yard line where it's taken down. The Cowboys, they move the sticks. And it's a first down. So 1st and 10 here for the Cowboys on the 11-yard line. Not quite 1st and goal. Dak under center. Hands off Javonte Williams straight ahead. He's going to have a nice run. Getting about 6 yards down to the 5-yard line. So it brings up a 2nd and about 4 here for the Cowboys. Prescott under center. Javonte Williams is the back. And they'll hand it to him straight at the middle. And Williams, this time, pretty much stuffed at the line. Maybe got a yard. But not much. Brings up 3rd and 3 from the 4-yard line. So it is 3rd and 4 here for the Cowboys. They still got the ball on the 5-yard line. Prescott in shotgun and back to his right. Bring a receiver in motion. Dak going to look to throw. He's going to try to run here, and Dak Prescott is going to get close to a first down. He might have the first down. Now let's see. It looks like the spot comes in about half a yard short. And it will be 4th down. Now, I'm not sure if that was a design quarterback run or if Dak Prescott just saw the look and decided to run it, but it is now 4th and short here for the Cowboys. Yeah, Dak Prescott definitely down short of the 1-yard line. So it's 4th down for the Cowboys. They're going to keep the offense out there and go for it. Prescott under center. They bring CeeDee Lamb in motion. They hand it off. Javonte Williams is going to have a first down, but he's short of the end zone. So it'll be 1st and goal from inside the 1 for the Cowboys. We got 8:30 to go in the 1st quarter. Oh, he actually bobbled his handoff. Oh, man, I don't know if he gets this. I think he does on the 2nd effort, but I'm really close. They are going to give him the 1st and goal. You got skill, my guy? Thank you, I appreciate that. So it's a 1st and goal for the Cowboys with 8:30 to go in the 1st quarter. So Prescott under center. Javonte Williams is the back. Bring a tight end in motion. They hand it off. Williams straight ahead, and he is going to be in for a Cowboy touchdown. Javonte Williams with the game's first points. And the Cowboys, they capitalize off the McCarthy interception. And they're on the board first. After a 1-yard touchdown for Javonte Williams. Oh man, he's actually kind of close there. I think he gets in, but he didn't get much before his knee hit the ground. So here is the extra point for the Cowboys. They actually faked a field goal earlier on this drive. And this time Aubrey kicks the ball, and it is good. So it is 7-0 Cowboys with 8:23 to go in the first quarter. So the Cowboys, they take advantage off the interception thrown by McCarthy, although that one definitely not his fault. Then they're also able to take advantage of the fake field goal, and they get the game's first points, and it's 7-0. Oh, I just realized I never put a poll out. Let me do that. Alright, so there's the poll. Be sure to vote on that. And let me check my prediction for the game. I know I took the Cowboys. I don't remember what the score was, though. So let me check while they're at commercial. Took the Cowboys 24-20. Also check my record for today. I don't think I'm great or terrible. Let's see. This week in the NFL, I'm 9-5. Not bad. Let's see. The games I've gotten wrong this week. I took the Buccaneers beat the Falcons. I took the Bengals beat the Ravens. I took the Giants beat the Commanders. I took the Chiefs to beat the Chargers, and I took the Panthers to beat the Saints. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out how I want to set this up. YouTube apparently they changed the way they have it set up for streams. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to do here and how I want this set up. Alright, I think I got it. But the Vikings with football back, the kick was not returned well. Didn't even get to the 20-yard line. But McCarthy and the Vikings offense back onto the field threw an interception on his first drive, first pass attempt for J.J. McCarthy. So it's 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. McCarthy under center. T.J. Hawkinson goes across the formation. And McCarthy hands off. Jones taken down for a loss. Wow. Kenny Clark in the backfield very quickly. And brings up 2nd and about 14. And Kenny Clark got off the ball insanely fast. And he's into the backfield pretty much as Aaron Jones gets the ball. Great play. They're going to spot it. It was with 3, so 2nd and 13 from the 11. McCarthy in shotgun with the back to his right. McCarthy looks to throw, gets pressured. Rolling left, McCarthy on the run. Throws the flat for TJ Hawkinson, who makes the catch. And Hawkinson is going to get close to a first down. And looks like the spot's going to come in right at the marker. So it'll be a first down, and the Vikings move the sticks. So let's say 1st and 10, with 7:05 to go into the first quarter. McCarthy under center, Jones is the back from the 24-yard line. Again, they bring Hawkinson in motion, and they hand it off to Jones, who is going to get taken down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. They handed it off to Jones, although fake the reverse. But J.J. McCarthy this year, in his first year as a starter, has not been good. 56% completion percentage, which is worse in the NFL. Just 156 yards per game, and more interceptions than touchdowns. So a 2nd and 9 here. McCarthy in shotgun back to his right. McCarthy. Quick throw underneath. That pass is going to be caught by Jordan Addison. And he'll bounce off defender and pick up about 8. Bring up 3rd and short here for the Vikings. So 3rd and 1. Here for the Vikings. McCarthy, again, under center. Been under center a lot so far today. Jones is the back. Cowboys crowding the line of scrimmage. And McCarthy going to hand it off. Jones makes a man miss in the backfield and taken down at the line. Maybe even lost a yard. But they're going to bring up 4th down. The Cowboy defense is going to force a punt. Brings up a 4th down. And the Vikings, after an interception on their first drive, going to be forced to punt it away here on their second. Not a great start. So the punt is away. Kevontae Turpin will let it bounce at the 29. It's going to take a Vikings bounce almost all the way to the end zone. But the Vikings can do a great job recovering there and down at the 3-yard line. Wow, what a punt. Able to completely flip the field as it's down to the 3-yard line. And that is where the Cowboys will take over for their second drive, up 7-0, but deep inside their own territory with 4:31 to go in the first quarter. The Cowboys can be backed up deep inside their own territory. The first drive for the Cowboys was 11 plays, 35 yards. Obviously, they got the ball in a short field after the interception. But the Vikings, they've gone 2 plays and thrown a pick, and in this past drive, 5 plays for 18 yards. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. A 7-point Cowboy lead. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. A 7-point Cowboys lead. So it's a 1st and 10 from the 3-yard line for the Cowboys. Prescott under center. And Prescott going to hand it off here. Wow, we just got back to the line of scrimmage before he's taken down. Hit very quickly for no gain. Isaiah Rodgers with the tackle. I believe that was Malik Davis with the carry. So 2nd and 10. Again, Prescott under center. And this time we'll look to throw. And try to hit Pickens on the slant, but it's knocked away. And incomplete, and just like that, it's 3rd and 10. Trying to find George Pickens, who's had a really good year. But Byron Murphy, with good coverage, able to knock it away. So it's 3rd and 10 here for the Cowboys. Prescott in shotgun at the back to his right. They're going to hand it off here, up the middle. And they'll get their punter some room. But he's short for 1st down. Got about 8, though. And it brings up 4th and about 2. So it'll be a 4th down for the Cowboys. They'll punt it away, and the Vikings should get the ball with pretty good field position, considering the Cowboys are punting from deep inside their own territory. So Brian Anger is standing pretty much halfway in his end zone. He's got it away cleanly, and the returner Price calls for a fair catch at the 48-yard line, or 47-yard line. And that is where the Vikings will take over with 3:08 to go into the 1st quarter. So they got pretty good field position here for their 3rd drive. Although the offense has not done much on their first 2 drives. An interception and a punt. But we'll see what they can do for their next possession. The Cowboys, they lead 7-0. Oh, Javonte Williams has a shoulder injury. And he is questionable to return tonight. So that's interesting. Hopefully he's okay. He's had a real good year. He must have got hurt on that touchdown because I don't really remember him seeing get hurt at all. But Javonte Williams, he had a really good year. He's top 10 in both rushing yards and rushing touchdowns, with 1,022 yards and 9 touchdowns. But he is... he's questionable to return. Malik Davis would be the second back for the Cowboys. He's only run the ball 16 times in the season for 103 yards and a touchdown. Their next leading rusher is Dak Prescott. That's actually kind of crazy. It's been just Javonte Williams. who's run the football for the Cowboys. I feel like that's kind of rare to see a team lean on one guy so heavily. Alright, so back from commercial here. We got the Vikings with the football, down by 7, with a little over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. So 1st and 10 from the 47. McCarthy in shotgun back to his left. McCarthy fakes the sweep, now throws the swing pass out to Jones. Got the block on the outside. Jones down the sideline, has space. And Aaron Jones to about the 33-yard line. Nice catch and run. And now we got a flag that comes in. Might be a horse collar tackle. So that might tack on 15 more, but a nice play to start the drive for the Vikings. Their best offensive play of the day by far. So it is a horse collar tackle. So they add another 15 onto an already good pickup. So one play puts the Vikings probably inside the red zone. It puts the ball on exactly the 20, actually. So McCarthy under center. Jordan Mason comes into the game at running back. First time we've seen him today. They bring Addison in motion, and they fake it to Mason. Now McCarthy rolling left. McCarthy throws. End zone. Call for a touchdown. Jalen Naylor makes the catch, though he's a little slow to get up. But Naylor makes the catch and gets hurt on the same play. Hopefully he's okay, but that was a nice throw from J.J. McCarthy. What a drive right there. They go 53 yards in 2 plays. I mean, this is a really nice play. That's one of the better plays I've seen from J.J. McCarthy this year. I mean, he's rolling to his left, which is a tough throw, but he's able to flip himself, so he makes a good throw. And he delivers an accurate throw about 30 yards downfield. Now, hopefully Naylor is okay. But that was a great play from J.J. McCarthy. So they check on Naylor after he made the touchdown catch. Kind of landed hard. I think he hit his head as well, so hopefully he's okay. But the Vikings, they capitalize off the good starting field position. They take it 2 plays for 53 yards. And they're an extra point away from tying this game up at 7. So here is Will Reichard for the extra point to tie the game at 7 with 2:35 to go in the first quarter. And the extra point right down the middle. So it's 7-7 as the Vikings tie it up. And what a drive for the Vikings. So the game now tied at 7 with 2:35 to go. Now 2:35 to go in the first quarter. But we don't wait for them to come back from commercial. I don't know if I said this, but Jalen Nailor was able to get up and walk off the field. So hopefully he is okay. Oh wow, I just saw this stat. This is interesting. The Eagles and Raiders played earlier today. And it was a 31-0 win for the Eagles. And it was actually the second fastest game in NFL history. That's kind of crazy. Didn't see any of that game because it was the Eagles and Raiders, but it's an interesting stat right there. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial here. The Cowboys are going to get the ball back. Game now tied at 7. 2:35 to go in the first quarter. So the Vikings kick it off, and it will be fielded on the bounce by Cavante Turpin. And Turpin crosses the 20, splits defenders, and it'll get to the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. So Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense back onto the field here. With the game now tied at 7. So 1st and 10 from the 27. Prescott under center. Fakes the reverse. And now throws to Ryan Fournette in the flat. And he's got space after the catch. Oh, took a big hit. But stayed on his feet. And a nice pickup right there. Fournette got about 15, maybe 20. And a nice play to start the drive for the Cowboys offense. Javonte Williams is over on the sideline for the Cowboys without his helmet. He's obviously questionable to return with his shoulder injury. Prescott going to look to throw here. Halftime, throws over the middle, wide open receiver CeeDee Lamb inside the 30. And he'll get down to the 24-yard line. A big play right there for the Cowboys offense. And 2 plays. And they've already got the ball inside the Vikings 25-yard line. CeeDee Lamb now 2 catches for 34 yards. Dak Prescott's 4 of 6 for 63 yards. Here they flip it to Ram on the jet sweep, and he's going to make a guy miss in the backfield, make another one miss. But then he's wrapped up for a loss of 3, maybe 4 on the play. And now there's a flag on the play. So there's a flag down with 1:02 to go in the first quarter. So the penalty did go against the Vikings. The Cowboys knocked the ball at the 13. So the handoff here. Davis up the middle. And he's got a solid run, about 5 yards. But the penalty, by the way, was unnecessary roughness after the play. That went against the... went against the Vikings. So a second down here for the Cowboys. Prescott under center. Davis is the back from the 7-yard line. Play clock at 5. Potentially the final play of the quarter. They hand it off here. Davis up the middle. And Davis fighting towards the goal line. He'll get down to the 2-yard line. Have a first down. Set the Cowboys up first and goal. For what will be the first play of the second quarter. But we reached the end of the first quarter with the game tied at 7. With the Cowboys with the football inside the red zone. They'll have a first and goal from the 2 for the first play of the second quarter. We got some injury updates for the Packers. They obviously got quite banged up today against the Broncos. Obviously, Micah Parsons is feared to have torn an ACL, and Matt LaFleur said that it does not look good, which definitely not a good sign. Tackle Zach Tom and safety Evan Williams are both not believed to have long-term knee injuries. And receiver Christian Watson is traveling home with the team tonight after being examined at the hospital for a chest injury. So it sounds like pretty good news all around for the Packers outside of Micah Parsons. But hopefully they're all okay. But 7-7, end of the first quarter. Cowboys outgained the Vikings 102-62. In that first quarter, the Cowboys had it for 9:37. Vikings had it for 5:23. JJ McCarthy went 4 of 5 for 59 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And Dak Prescott in that first quarter, he went 4 of 6 for 63 yards. But both these teams technically still alive in the playoff race, even though it would be hard for them to both get in. Cowboys currently have the 10 seed, Vikings at the 11 seed. And you might need to win 11 games to get into the playoffs in the NFC, considering the Packers right now have the 7 seed, and they're 9-4-1. It is a really competitive playoff race. I mean, the AFC as well, but definitely seems like we're starting to get a feel for who's going to make it and who's not going to make it in the AFC. The NFC is still wide open. Like, I mean, there is definitely some teams like the Packers and the Bears look to be in good spots, but I mean, anything can happen in the final 3 to 4 weeks of the season. But we start the second quarter here. First and goal for the Cowboys. They get the ball on the 1-yard line. Prescott under center. They motion Ferguson across the formation. Prescott looks to throw, backpedaling, and he throws one out of the end zone, and it's incomplete. Brings up second and goal. So second and goal from the 1. Prescott under center. Malik Davis is the back. Still have not seen Javonte Williams since that first drive. And they're going to hand it off here. Davis up the middle. In for a Cowboy touchdown. Malik Davis right up the middle. His second score of the season. And the Cowboys retake the lead. We're about to have 14-7. After a 6-play, 73-yard drive that took 2:43 off the clock. But a great drive right there for the Cowboys. They go right down the field and answer the Vikings touchdown drive. And here is Aubrey for the extra point. And it's right down the middle. So 14-7. The Cowboys with the Vikings. Early in the second quarter. And on the second play, second play of the quarter, the Cowboys score a touchdown. Looks like the Chiefs got knocked out today. It definitely looks that way. I mean, they lost Mahomes for the year with the torn ACL. And I mean, they're also, even if they didn't lose him, the loss eliminated from playoff contention. It's going to be weird not seeing the Chiefs in the playoffs. Although it'll definitely be nice to see somebody else. I mean, forget not seeing the Chiefs in the playoffs. It's going to be weird to not see them in the Super Bowl. Considering they've been there, what? 5 of the last 6 years? 6 of the last 7, maybe? I think they've only missed one since 2019, right? When that was when the Bengals made it? I think they've been the AFC representative in the Super Bowl 6 of the last 7 years. Here's the return here for Price, and he brings it back to the 25-yard line. Let me look that up real quick. Alright, I'm pulling it up. Give me 1 second. But it's a 1st and 10 here for the Vikings. McCarthy under center. And he'll hand it off to Jordan Mason to the right side. Mason got a nice run. 7 yards on 1st down. Getting into the 32-yard line. Had a really good run making the playoffs. They sure have. I think I saw it's the first time since 2014 they've missed the playoffs. And it'll be the first time since the 2017 season where they're not playing in the AFC Championship game. So 2nd and 3. Mason wants to... Oh, man, he had a lot of space there. But he just got tripped up by Quinn Williams, which saved a huge play. But as it is, a 1st down for the Vikings. Let's see. The Chiefs, they have... So it's been 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls the Chiefs have played in. So it'll be interesting to see who makes it out of the AFC. Well, Mason actually didn't get the 1st down here, but now he's got it. As they hand it to him on 3rd and short, and he moves the sticks. But a 1st and 10 here for the Vikings. 13 minutes to go in the 1st half. McCarthy in shotgun, going to look to throw, and he's going to take a shot down the sideline, incomplete, looking for Jefferson. His first target of the game, and it's 2nd and 10. He's actually almost able to make that catch, which would have been insane because very tight coverage. So 2nd and 10 from the 36. McCarthy in shotgun back to his right. And he'll hand it off here to Jordan Mason. Going to split 2 defenders and pick up about 3 on the play. Getting it to the 39-yard line. So it's a 3rd down and 8 for the Vikings. 12:20 to go in the first half. So McCarthy in shotgun with the back to his right. I believe that's the fullback, C.J. Ham. McCarthy going to look to throw against a 4-man rush. McCarthy drifts left. Lets one go deep downfield. Wide open receiver. Addison gets behind the defense, and he's dragged down at the 3-yard line. A huge play for the Vikings on 3rd down. Jordan Addison was wide open. And he sets the Vikings up with a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. Jordan Addison able to get behind the defense. If this is a little bit better of a throw for McCarthy, this might be a touchdown. Because Addison's got to slow up for it. But it's still a huge play. And the Vikings are set up with the 1st and goal with the ball on the 4-yard line. McCarthy under center. And play clock at 0 here. So the Vikings can call a timeout. So there's 11:17 to go in the first half. That was a big play right there for the Vikings. It was on 3rd and 8 as well. And not only do they convert, but they pick up 58 yards on the play. So 1st and goal here for the Vikings. Trying to tie the game up once again. Hey, how's it going? So 1st and goal. Handoff here. Mason got about a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal. We're cooked. I assume you're referring to Micah Parsons? Yeah, that's definitely going to hurt. He's having a really good year. And now he's most likely out for the season with a torn ACL. So 2nd and goal here from the 3-yard line. Again, play clock is winding down. And they'll just get the play off. McCarthy looks to throw. McCarthy throws back to the end zone. Call for a touchdown. A flag is down, though. Jefferson makes the catch, and I think this one might come back. I don't know if Jordan Addison ever got set. So they call an illegal formation against the Vikings. So Addison's not the problem. They call it against the tight end Josh Oliver. Oh, he was wound up on the line of scrimmage. So it wipes off the touchdown. And it is now 2nd and goal. Backed up 5 yards. Didn't expect us to beat the Broncos. Close game, though. Yeah, that was a pretty good game. So 2nd and goal McCarthy in shotgun. And we got play blown dead here. Looks like the Cowboys call a timeout. Love's going to have no one to throw the ball to. Yeah, I mean, injury is definitely a problem. So Christian Watson got hurt. I don't know, was there anyone else who got hurt? It's the only one I remember, but there's probably others, because I didn't see the entire game. I saw like bits and pieces here and there. Although I did see most of the fourth quarter. I see the Vikings winning this game. Okay, I took the Cowboys 24-20, but yeah, I could definitely see the Vikings. This was one of the tougher games to predict this week. So it's a 2nd and goal here. McCarthy in shotgun back to his left. McCarthy throws end zone incomplete. Looking for Justin Jefferson on a back shoulder throw. Brings up 3rd and goal. McCarthy just throws this one too far behind him. So 3rd and goal for the Vikings. Ball on the 8-yard line. McCarthy looks to throw. Steps up. McCarthy can run for it. McCarthy is going to... Oh, man, he's close. He's taken down just short. He had to make a guy miss and just kind of ran right into him. So it brings up 4th and goal from the inside the 1 for the Vikings with 10 minutes to go. Yeah, he's definitely down short. So it's 4th and goal. The Vikings going to keep the offense out there. I like the aggressive decision from Kevin O'Connell. McCarthy is under center. Mason's the back. McCarthy fakes it to Mason, and he's going to walk in for a touchdown. So J.J. McCarthy with the rushing score. Everybody thought he handed it off inside. He kept it himself. And walked in for a touchdown. It's a 10-play, 75-yard touchdown drive for the Vikings. And they're an extra point away from tying the game. And the extra point here is up and good. So 14-14. We're tied up. McCarthy with his 2nd touchdown of the game. 1 passing, 1 rushing. And a really nice drive right there for the Vikings. But that is now back-to-back nice drives for the Vikings. They went 2 plays, 53 yards on the previous drive. Now this drive, they go 10 plays, 75 yards. And they take 5:34 off the clock. But a nice start. Or really a good bounce back after a slow start, I guess you could say. The first couple drives weren't great for the Vikings, but the 2 most recent ones have been pretty good. But maybe this is the start of the Vikings offense really breaking out a little bit. I mean, last week they put up 31 against the Commanders. McCarthy threw 3 touchdowns. And now this week, 14 already in the first half. Now, I mean, I know neither defense is great, but can be a step in the right direction for the Vikings offense, which overall hasn't been great. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. The game now tied at 14. Cowboys will get it back. So it's a 9:28 to go in the second quarter. 14-14. And the kick is away. Will be returned from the 5-yard line. And Cavante Turpin makes a man miss. Splits defenders. Down the sideline goes Turpin to the 43-yard line, and a big return, setting the Cowboys up with great starting field position. But a ruinous return there for Cavante Turpin. And the Cowboys starting their own 43-yard line. Offense playing pretty well, 14 points so far. The top 3 offense in the NFL also. Third in scoring, first in total yards, although the defense second worst in scoring, fourth worst in total yards. And the Cowboys, they'd be the second team in NFL history to score and allow 29 points per game, joining the 2000 Rams. They hand it off here. Davis left side for no gain. Brings up 2nd and 10. So Prescott in shotgun back to his right. The ball on the 43-yard line. The Vikings show blitz here. And the Vikings come after him. Prescott hit as he throws. Ball is tipped and incomplete. Trying to get it to CeeDee Lamb, and it's 3rd and 10. Looks like Harrison Smith tipped that at the line of scrimmage. So 3rd and 10 here for the Cowboys. Prescott in shotgun, 8:43 to go in the first half. Prescott going to look to throw. He'll check down to Ferguson in the flat, who avoids one defender and is then taken down at exactly midfield. So we got 7, but it brings up 4th and 3. And it looks like the Cowboys might actually go for this. It's 4th and 3 from midfield. And yeah, they're going to keep the offense out there. They're going to go for it here. There's 8:10 to go in the first half. They're going to get aggressive here from midfield. They empty the backfield for Dak Prescott. Then they bring CeeDee Lamb in motion. They will snap it. Vikings bring 4. Prescott with time. Throws over the middle. Wide open receiver is Lamb to the 33-yard line. And the Cowboys with a nice play. They gain 17 and move the sticks there on 4th down. Chiefs out of the playoffs is crazy. Yeah, sure is. Definitely did not expect them to have this kind of season. Cowboys going to hand it off here. Malik Davis up the middle. And he'll got 4, maybe 5 yards. Brings up 2nd down. Do I think the Packers season is over? I don't know. I don't think so. It's just that they now fall to the 7 seed, which is the problem because the NFC is just so competitive. I want to pull up their remaining schedule, but I'm not sure. It's going to be interesting. Prescott pressured and incomplete, and just kind of had to get rid of it. So it brings up 3rd and 5. The Packers, they got the Bears, the Ravens, and the Vikings left in the schedule. Now, I don't know what some of the other teams have. Like, I don't know what the Lions have, or the 49ers, or a team like that. But I think they should be okay as long as they finish ahead of the Lions, because I don't really see the Panthers, Cowboys, or Vikings catching them for the last wildcard spot. So I think they should still make the playoffs. A little bit of an overreaction. Yeah, I could understand that. Like, I mean, the Parsons injury definitely is going to impact how far they can go in the playoffs. And probably, or definitely how good their defense is. But, I don't know. I still think they'll be in the playoffs. They might be as, like, the 7 seed as opposed to the 2 seed, but I still think they'll make it. So 3rd and 5 here for the Cowboys from the 28-yard line. Vikings show blitz here. They crowd the line of scrimmage. And Prescott going to look to throw. Vikings bring just 3. Prescott still gets pressured. And he's going to step up and eventually just go down for a sack. He had nowhere to go or anywhere to go with the ball. Jonathan Grenard with the sack, and it brings up 4th down for the Cowboys. The Vikings, they showed pressure. They dropped back and only brought 3. But Prescott still got sacked. And it'll bring up a field goal try for the Cowboys. But we have 51-yarder. They faked a field goal before. And this time Aubrey's kick. Oh my, he missed it. Brandon Aubrey misses from 51. Not every day you see that. Aubrey misses it wide right from 51. And it stays tied at 14. The Vikings defense able to hold the Cowboys off the board on that drive. And the game stays tied at 14. I think all the remaining games are winnable. Yeah, the Bears, Ravens, and Vikings, they're all definitely winnable games. I mean, you've got the Bears, they've already beaten them once, and obviously they do have to go to Chicago next week, but definitely winnable. The Ravens haven't even been playing that well. They did just destroy the Bengals this week, but they're still not playing that well, and the Vikings just are not great. But yeah, the Packers, they can win out. They could also go 1-2 in the final 3 games. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Game still tied at 14. After Brandon Aubrey misses the field goal. And after the miss, the Vikings have pretty good field position. As they'll start on their own 41-yard line. So they're back from commercial. McCarthy under center. Aaron Jones is the back. They bring Jefferson in motion. They fake the Jones. McCarthy now throws to Aaron Jones in the flat. And he'll pick up about 7 yards before he's knocked out of bounds. So 2nd and 2. McCarthy tosses it here. Jones right side, and Aaron Jones has a lot of space. Makes a cut. Breaking a tackle and getting to the 38-yard line. A nice run right there. And a first down for the Vikings. So 1st and 10 from the 38. McCarthy under center. Play action. McCarthy. Plenty of time. And again, I'll just check down to Jones in the flat. Was going to make a guy miss. And pick up about 4, maybe 5 yards. Looked like that play was designed to take a shot downfield. But nothing was there. So we got 4 minutes left in the first half. A 2nd and 5 for the Vikings. Game tied at 14. McCarthy in shotgun back to his left. McCarthy throws over the middle of that pass. Caught by Jefferson for a first down to the 21-yard line. And the Vikings move the sticks. Justin Jefferson leads the Vikings with 65 catches for 822 yards. He's also got 2 scores. Definitely not the year we're used to him having, but still a pretty solid year. Although might not reach 1,000 yards. From the 21, they hand this off here. Jones gets the carry, and he lunges forward for gain of about 7, but a flag flies. And now another one comes in. This one looks like might be after the play. So there's fouls on both teams. It's an illegal shift against the Vikings. And we got unnecessary roughness. So it looks like they call the unnecessary roughness after the play, though. So it is a first down for the Vikings. So first and 10 from the 10, not quite first and goal. We got play stop because the first down marker is not set up properly. But first and 10 here, 2:39 to go in the first half. Game still tied at 14. So first and 10 from the 11, or the 10.5 really. McCarthy under center, hands off here. Aaron Jones is taken down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Brings up second and 10. That could have been the final play before the 2-minute warning. Let's see, they don't have to run a play. Yeah, they will not run a play before the 2-minute warning. So we reached the 2-minute warning in the first half. The game tied at 14. And the Cowboys and Vikings tied. But the Vikings with the football, and they got it inside Cowboy territory. But we wait for them to come back from commercial here at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings right now have the good opportunity to potentially take their first lead of the game. With the ball on the Cowboys' 11-yard line. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial here at the 2-minute warning. It'll be a 2nd and 10 for the Vikings on the 11-yard line. I believe the Vikings still have 3 timeouts, Cowboys with 2. Actually, no, Vikings 2 timeouts, Cowboys with 1 here in the first half. So McCarthy in shotgun, Jones is the back line to his right. McCarthy looks to throw, takes a shot, end zone incomplete, too high for Jefferson. And it's 3rd and 10. Very tight coverage. Deron Bland over there. Matched up with Justin Jefferson all game long. So 3rd and 10. McCarthy in shotgun. With the back one to his right. 3 receivers to the left side. McCarthy going to look to throw. McCarthy throws underneath, incomplete. Looking for TJ Hawkinson, led him too far. Would have been short anyway. But it's 4th and 10. And the Vikings will be forced to settle for 3. So here's Will Reichard, 22 of 24 on the season. That's 92%. Season long of 62. This one should be pretty easy. A 29-yard field goal to give the Vikings their first lead of the game. Ball on the right hash. And Reichard's kick is good. So 17-14 as the Vikings, they got the lead for the first time. The Cowboys still have a minute 48 and a timeout to work with to try to put a drive together here before halftime. Plus, they get the ball to start the second half. So, even though the Cowboys down by 3 right now, in a pretty good spot. You got plenty of time. You get the ball to start the second half. And we'll see how the Cowboys manage this, but definitely should try to put a drive together. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. But we still wait for them to come back after another commercial break, even though there were like 2 plays after the commercial break with the 2-minute warning. But a 3-point lead for the Vikings. So far, results in the poll, 87% of guys said the Cowboys win, 17% have said the Vikings. Be sure to vote if you have not already done so. So the Cowboys can get back, a minute 48 to go in the first half. And the kick going to bounce at the 15. And going to bounce out of bounds. Smart play by Turpin to let it go. So the ball is now at the 40-yard line as the kick goes out of bounds. So the Cowboys with great starting field position here at the 40-yard line. Plenty of time to work with as well. And a timeout. So an empty backfield for Dak Prescott. Look to throw. Prescott has time. That one incomplete right there as he rolled into pressure. Just drifted too far to his left. So it's now 2nd and 10. Oh man, he had somebody wide open too. I don't know who that was, but he had somebody wide open. So 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw once again. Throws underneath here, called by the tight end Ferguson. For a gain of about 9. So it'll be 3rd and 1. Prescott can hand it off here. And they'll have a first down. The fullback Lipke gains about 5. So the Cowboys move the sticks. And we got an injured lineman. That's Howard Smith for the Cowboys. He lost his helmet. He's grabbing somewhere in his face. Hopefully he's okay. Maybe got poked in the eye or something. Well, hopefully he's okay. Tyler Smith, the injured player. And they go to commercial here with 1:18 to go in the first half. And the injury right there is going to force the Cowboys to use their 3rd and final timeout. So they'll have none remaining. The Vikings will still have 2. But still waiting for them to come back from commercial. Again, hopefully he's okay. Tyler Smith, the injured player. Cowboys left guard. Alright, now they're back from commercial. Tyler Smith over on the sideline. It looks like he might have gotten poked in the eye. But hopefully he's okay. So at 1st and 10 for the Cowboys on the 46-yard line. The Vikings 46, that is. Prescott in shotgun back to his left. They're going to run the ball. Why would you run the ball here? But they'll pick up about 4. So it's 2nd and 7, a minute left to go in the first half. Prescott steps up, throws underneath, caught by the fullback Lipke to the 31-yard line. That's a pretty solid play. He is taken down inbounds, but the clock's still running. Cowboys can get on the ball quickly. 45 seconds and counting. Prescott looks to throw. Throws outside. That pass caught by Pickens. And he's out of bounds after gain of 10. That's a first down and stops the clock with 35 seconds left in the first half. So 1st and 10, 35 seconds left in the first half. Ball on the 22-yard line. Prescott can look to throw. Gets pressured, sets up the screen. But nowhere to go. And Lipke will gain about 3. So 2nd down and about 7. Clock is running. 20 seconds. It's 2nd and 7. Prescott gonna look to throw. Prescott pressured. Just lets one go out of bounds and incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 7 with 11 seconds to go. George Pickens, the receiver in the area right there. So I think right here you just take a shot at the end zone. And if that's there, cool, you score a touchdown. But if not, settle for 3. We'll have to see what the Cowboys do. It's also 3rd down. So Prescott and shotgun back to his left. And the Vikings call their 2nd timeout right before the snap. So it brings up 3rd and 7 with 11 seconds to go. Now only 1 remaining timeout. The remaining schedules for both the Cowboys and Eagles. The Cowboys go Chargers, Commanders, Giants. Eagles go Commanders. Oh, who was that? Commanders somebody. Commanders. In the race for the NFC East. Commanders should still win it. And be the first repeat champs in 20 years, but it's an interesting race. Prescott just throws this out of bounds. I do not like that play right there at all. You take a shot at the end zone. You got a great contested catch guy in George Pickens. Give him a chance one-on-one. But apparently not. And it's now 4th and 7. And the Cowboys bring on the field goal team here with 8 seconds left to try to once again tie up the game at 17. Aubrey 0 for 1, missed from 51. This one from 37. Ball on the left hash. And Aubrey's kick this time right down the middle. So 17-17, we're all tied up with 3 seconds left in the first half. The Cowboys do a pretty good job managing that drive. Definitely could have been a little bit better if they used the sidelines a little bit more, but overall not terrible. Able to get some points. And now the Vikings will have 3 seconds. Well, you can't really imagine they're going to do much. They'll probably return the kickoff and that's it. So Aubrey has it teed up, and the Cowboys going to send it away. And the kickoff return will probably be the final one, or the final play of the half. The Cowboys could also just send this through the end zone. So that is what they're going to try to do. But the Vikings are going to bring it back anyway. And we'll get to the 20-yard line. And that is going to be the end of the first half. I was going to say, you could try to just send it through the end zone, because then you don't have to worry about a kick getting returned for a touchdown. The Vikings will just take a knee. And it's what they tried to do. With the Vikings, they brought it back from 9 yards deep. So, but But either way, it still brings us to halftime. And the Vikings and Cowboys tied at 17 at halftime. A fairly higher scoring first half. But I'm going to go take a quick break, use the bathroom, fill my water, and I'll be right back. Oh, hold on, let me change this first. Cowboys also get the ball for the second half. So I'll leave that like that. Yeah, I'll be back in a couple minutes. Alright, I'm back. So we got the Cowboys and Vikings tied at 17 at halftime. A pretty entertaining first half. Both teams able to put up some points. Neither defense looking amazing. But 17-17 at halftime. And the 17-17 at halftime, and the Cowboys get the ball to start the second half. Now, as far as an updated score prediction goes, I originally said the Cowboys 24-20. I definitely think we're going to see some more points than that. But I'm going to stick with the Cowboys, even though the Vikings have looked pretty good. I think J.J. McCarthy had a pretty solid first half. Threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown. And honestly, played pretty well. Outside the first interception, which, really wasn't even on him. So I'm going to stick with the Cowboys, but let's go Cowboys by a score of... Let's see. Let's go 30... Let's go 31-27. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We'll go over some stats from the first half. J.J. McCarthy went 8 of 13 for 142 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. And he also ran the ball 2 times for 8 yards and a score. And then on the ground for the Vikings, Aaron Jones, 6 carries for 16 yards. Jordan Mason, 5 carries for 14 yards. So nothing amazing. But McCarthy having a pretty good game. 10.9 yards per pass attempt so far. Jordan Addison with 2 catches for 66 yards. Aaron Jones, 3 catches for 31 yards. Jalen Naylor, 1 for 20 and a touchdown. TJ Hawkinson, 1 for 13. And Justin Jefferson, 1 for 2. 1 for 12, that says. Then for the Cowboys, Dak Prescott is 10 of 18 for 120 yards. No touchdowns or interceptions. He was sacked 1 time for loss of 5 yards. On the ground for the Cowboys, they weren't super effective. Malik Davis, 6 carries, 17 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Lipke, 3 carries for 16 yards. Javonte Williams, 6 carries for 13 yards and a score. Although we have not seen him since the first drive of the game for the Cowboys. Got a shoulder injury. Brandon Aubrey, 1 carry for 6 yards on the fake punt. And Dak Prescott, 1 carry for 2 yards. That's 17 for 54 as a team for Dallas. 3.2 a carry. And then receiving for the Cowboys, CeeDee Lamb, 3 for 51. Ryan Fournette, 2 for 29. Jake Ferguson, 2 for 16. Hunter Lipke, 2 for 14. George Pickens, a catch for 10 yards. And Brevin Spanford, no catches on 1 target. And then team stats from the first half. 13 first downs for the Cowboys, 10 for the Vikings. But the Vikings a little bit better on third down. The Vikings 2 of 5, Cowboys 1 for 7. Both teams perfect on fourth down. Cowboys went 3 for 3. Vikings went 1 for 1. Vikings outgained the Cowboys by just a little bit, 180 to 169. Vikings at 6.9 yards per play. Cowboys at 4.7. The Vikings more passing yards, but the Cowboys more rushing yards. Vikings 1 touchdown and 2 red zone trips. Cowboys 2 touchdowns and 3 red zone trips. And 3 penalties against the Vikings for 17 yards. 2 penalties for 25 yards against the Cowboys. And 1 turnover in the game. That was an interception thrown by McCarthy. And time possession almost 50-50. 14:53 for the Vikings, 15:07 for the Cowboys. But overall, a very even first half. Why do the Vikings start to look good when we get eliminated from playoffs? Yeah, it just seems to be how every team does. You got nothing to play for, and then your team actually starts to play well. Or in the case for me with the Giants, they just never look good. Whether they're alive in the playoff race or not. But that's definitely frustrating when you wonder where this team's been all year. Thoughts on Joe Burrow to the Vikings? I have definitely seen some Joe Burrow trade rumors, obviously with what he said at his press conference when he was talking to the media a couple days ago. Or anywhere else. Yeah, I mean, it might happen. I mean, he doesn't really seem thrilled with the Bengals, although, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if a trade request actually happened for Joe Burrow, because think of what the Bengals have done for him. They re-signed Jamar Chase, they re-signed T. Higgins, two things he really wanted them to do, especially T. Higgins. But the problem is, that's the only thing they've really done for him. They have not built him a good offensive line. That they've tried to, it just hasn't really worked out. And they've built him a terrible defense, so he has to go out and score 30 points a game. And sometimes that's still not enough. But I don't know, I could see it happening. I mean, I don't know where he could get traded to. But it's definitely a possibility. I've seen the idea of a trade to the Jets get thrown around, although if I'm Joe Burrow, I would not want to go play for the Jets, considering they ruin pretty much every quarterback they get. But I mean, I don't know. I would be surprised, but not extremely surprised if Burrow does end up getting traded. So the kick is going to be returned here from the 2-yard line as we start the third quarter. And Cavante Turpin with space down the sideline. Turpin to the 43-yard line. He's got another good return. He's had some big returns in this game. And he sets the Cowboys up with a great field position to start the third quarter. I feel we could somehow trade JJ and something for Burrow, and JJ starts balling out for another team, and Joe sucks. Our luck. I mean, you never know, but I feel like Joe Burrow's just that good. He'll have success no matter where he goes. I mean, obviously it's going to depend how much success based on what's around him, but I think he's good enough to be really good pretty much everywhere. Well, Javonte Williams back in the game here, gets the carry here and has 15 yards on the first play of the third quarter. But a nice run right there. The first time we've seen him since the first drive of the game for the Cowboys. He's been battling a shoulder injury. And left guard Tyrus Smith is also back in the game for the Cowboys. After he left the game with apparently some kind of eye injury or whatever. I think he got poked in the eye. But he's back in the game. While the Cowboys fullback Hunter Lipke's out with a concussion. They hand it off to Javonte Williams again. As he cuts back and picks up about 3 down the 40-yard line. So 2nd and 7 from the 40 here. Prescott going to look to throw. Prescott steps up, gets pressured, and flips. Oh, what a catch! What a catch made by Ferguson. And Jake Ferguson makes a man miss, and he's down at the 11-yard line. Actually, that's not even Jake Ferguson. That's Luke Schoonmaker. But still, what a catch. A one-handed catch, and then a lot of space after the catch. And picks up almost 30 yards. That's a great play. It's a pickup of 29 in the catch and run. And a 1st and 10 here for the Cowboys on the 11-yard line. So Prescott can look to throw. Going to take a shot at the end zone as the receiver is on the ground. But no flag. And it's 2nd and 10. Looking for C.D. Lamb. Malik Davis does a good job just to give Dak Prescott enough time to get that throw off, but he's in the process of getting run over. Davis gets the carry here and gets a yard, maybe two, and it brings up 3rd and long for the Cowboys. So it's 3rd and 8 with 12:15 to go in the third quarter. They bring Kevontae Turpin across the formation. Empty backfield for Dak Prescott. Vikings bring a blitz. Prescott gets pressured, sets up the screen for Turpin, but he's going nowhere. He had no blocking. And Turpin taken down again for about a yard, maybe two. So it brings up 4th down here for the Cowboys. And looks like they're going to bring on the field goal team. I'm not really sure how that play was supposed to work. Because the way Pickens was out there, he was running a route. I don't think he was trying to block. At the very least, he just cleared out that one defender, but there was still 2 others in the area. So I'm not really sure how that play was designed. But definitely not a good one. It forces the Cowboys to settle for 3. And the field goal for Auburn is good. So it's 20-17. The Cowboys on the first drive of the second half, able to get some points. As they capitalize off the good return from Kevontae Turpin. And then they make it 20-17. After Auburn hits his second field goal. It was a 7-play, 50-yard drive that took 3:46 off the clock. And now we'll see what the Vikings can do for their first possession here in the second half. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Now a 3-point Cowboys lead. Oh. Sorry, I went to pick up my phone and I almost dropped it. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. With about 11:15 to go. We'll see what the Vikings can do here offensively for their first drive. Pretty solid first half. 17 points in the first half. And also 31 points last week. The offense looks like it's starting to get going a little bit for the Vikings. And we'll see if they can carry that over into the second half. But their last 6 quarters, going back to the start of last week's game, been pretty good. McCarthy 5 touchdowns in that span as well. 4 passing, 1 rushing. 2 from tonight, 3 last week. But Aubrey kicks this off, and Price will bring it back from the 10-yard line. And Price getting to the outside, crosses to 30, and a nice return for Price, getting across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. And he sets the Vikings up with a great starting field position. We've seen some good kick returns in this game. DaRon Bland has been matched up 6 times against Justin Jefferson. He's been targeted 3 times, he allowed just 1 catch for 12 yards. It's pretty good, considering he's facing one of the best receivers in football. Matched up against him again right here. Well, the Vikings going to run the football. Aaron Jones gets it straight ahead for maybe a yard. Not much running room. And it brings up 2nd down. Trayvon Diggs still out for the Cowboys. He's not played since week 6. So 2nd and 9. McCarthy in shotgun back to his right. And McCarthy fakes it to Jones. And McCarthy hit as he throws. What's one go? That is incomplete. Jalen Naylor, the closest receiver to it. So it brings up 3rd and 9. So 3rd and 9. McCarthy in shotgun back to his right. McCarthy gonna look to throw. Steps up. Throws underneath. That was a terrible throw. And it's 4th down. He was trying to just check it down, but threw it at the ankles of the target. And it brings up 4th down, and the Vikings will punt it away and have a quick 3 and out on their first drive of the second half. So the punt is away, and Kevontae Turpin will let this go over his head, and it's going to go out of bounds. It looks to be a pretty good punt. It'll be out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So it's a good punt. Cowboys backed up deep inside their own territory for this next possession with 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys with a nice start here to the 3rd quarter. The offense goes down. They kick a field goal, put them up by 3, and the defense forces a 3 and out. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. The Cowboys get the football back. Get the ball on their own 10-yard line. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. A 20-17 Cowboys lead with a little over 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So far, results in the poll, 71% of guys said the Cowboys will win, 29% have said the Vikings. Again, be sure to vote if you have not already done so. And if you guys missed my prediction for the game, I took the Cowboys. Original score is 24-20, but updated score at halftime I think was 31-27, something like that. So 1st and 10 here. Prescott can look to throw. Wants to go deep. And as the receiver is caught by Lamb at the 40-yard line. A gain of 30 to start the drive. And a nice big play for the Cowboys offense. But a nice play right there. Dak Prescott now 13 to 22 for 180. CeeDee Lamb's caught 4 of them for 81 yards. So 1st and 10 from the 40. They fake the jet sweep. Now Prescott looks to throw. And instead he'll just dump it off to the guy who just faked it to, Fournette. And he's stopped after a gain of about 2. So bring up 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 7. And a handoff here up the middle. Javonte Williams to a lot of space. Williams still going inside Viking territory. It's eventually thrown down at the 36-yard line, but a big run for Javonte Williams and a 1st down for the Cowboys. A few plays to start this drive. It's a big pass play to CeeDee Lamb and a really good run play right there for Javonte Williams. So with 1st and 10 from the 36, they bring Turpin in motion, and Prescott fakes it to him. Now he throws it to him in the flat, and Turpin is going to try to get it to the sideline, and he's forced to bounds after getting about 6. So it brings up 2nd down. Actually, they're going to give Turpin 9, actually, on 1st down. Let's make it 2nd and short. So it's 2nd and 1, 7:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Prescott in shotgun back to his right. We're going to hand it off here. Davis is... Oh, I don't know. Did you get that? I think he did. Yeah, they're going to give him the 1st down. So Davis got about a yard and a half, needed a yard. And the Cowboys moved the chains. And it's a 1st and 10. So it's a 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Empty backfield for Dak Prescott. Now they bring Javonte Williams in motion. Prescott wants to set up the screen. The Vikings read that perfectly. Every defensive lineman just completely bails on rushing Dak Prescott, and they go to the screen. So Prescott just throws at the feet. No, the feet of CeeDee Lamb. So it's 2nd and 10. So 2nd and 10, 6:50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Prescott handed off here. Turpin on the jet sweep. Makes a man miss. Turpin looking for some blockers, and he'll pick up about 2. Brings up 3rd down and about 8 here for the Cowboys. Cowboys, they've moved the ball effectively. The Vikings defense done a pretty good job holding them to 3. We'll have to see if they can do it again here on this 3rd and 8. Prescott in shotgun here. They bring Malik Davis in motion. Now he winds up to the right of Dak Prescott. The Vikings bring pressure. No, we got play blown dead here. A flag is down. Give me a false start. They call it on 71. That's the left tackle, Thomas, for the Cowboys. So it's 3rd and 13. Cowboys, they're 1 for 8 on 3rd down today. That's not very good. So Prescott in shotgun back to his left. The Vikings bring 4. Prescott steps up, checks down. Davis is swung around and taken down at the 18-yard line. So it brings up 4th down here for the Cowboys. They got some yardage there. They could consider going for this if they want to get aggressive. They will keep the offense out there. It's 4th and 3. Let's see if they snap this or they're just going to try to draw them off sides. So Prescott in shotgun back to his left. It's 4th down and 3 from the 18-yard line. Play clock at 5. I don't think they're going to snap this. No, they're not. So the play clock at 0. They were just going to try to draw them off sides. And the Cowboys, they're going to take the penalty here and back them up 5. Now, I know a lot of people wouldn't do that, and they would just call it a timeout, but I actually really like that right there for the Cowboys. Because in the second half, especially the second half, I want to save all my timeouts for if I need them late in the game to potentially get the ball back. I want to know I've got all 3. So I like Brian Schottenheimer not calling timeout, just taking the penalty. Especially when you've got a kicker like Brandon Aubrey. He makes almost every field goal, including this one. Although, I mean, we did see a miss earlier today, but I mean, this guy's still pretty much automatic. Like, he's 3 of 4 on field goals today. Missed from 52, I believe. And on the year, he's 93.1%. That was before today's game. He was 27 of 29. And both of his misses now all of his misses have come from 50 plus. See, I mean, I definitely agree with the decision right there for the Cowboys too. Just take it away. And kick the field goal and save the timeouts. I definitely like that decision. But it's now 23-17 as the Cowboys with the Vikings, 4:50 to go in the third quarter. And we'll have to see what the Vikings can do here for their next possession. A 6-point Cowboys lead. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. A 6-point game. And we'll have to see what the Vikings offense can do here for their second possession in the in the third quarter. First drive, they went 3 and out. So Aubrey kicks this off here, and Price will bring it back from about the 1 yard line. So here's Price crossing the 20, and Price swung it about to the 26. Nice job there by the Cowboys kick coverage unit. And that's where the Vikings will take over. The Vikings this season, they've had 15 different offensive line combinations. That's second most in the NFL. But tonight, they've been playing really well. They've allowed just an 18% pressure rate, which is their lowest they've allowed this season. It's definitely a big reason McCarthy's had one of his better games of the year. But at 1st and 10 here, McCarthy in shotgun back to his left from the 27-yard line. McCarthy gonna look to throw. Throw over the middle. Oh, what a throw by McCarthy. Nice play. Up the seam, he finds Hawkinson inside Cowboy territory after one play. Nice throw, nice catch. And a good first play to the drive. That's a nice play. So a 1st and 10 from the 44-yard line. McCarthy under center. Fakes it to Jones. And steps up. Floats one downfield. This one's too high for Jefferson. That's a missed opportunity right there because McCarthy had Jefferson wide open. Just threw it too high. But a big missed opportunity right there. Probably could have gotten inside the 20 easily, maybe at the 15-yard line. That's the 6th time Jefferson's been targeted today. He's caught just one of them for 12 yards. They go to the ground here with Jordan Mason, and he flips a tackle and barrels his way forward for about 9 yards, getting it to the 35. So nice run right there. And it brings up 3rd and short. So 3rd and 1 here for the Vikings. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. McCarthy under center. They hand it to Naylor on the jet sweep, and Naylor is taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Lost a 3 on the play. That's a big one right there. And I wonder if this is 4-down territory for the Vikings. I go for it right here. I don't really think there's much of a decision. So it's 4th and about 3 or 4 from the Cowboy 38-ish. I go for it. They will go for it. Empty backfield here for McCarthy. 4th and 3. McCarthy going to look to throw. Plenty of time. McCarthy floats one downfield. That pass is going to be caught inside the 15-yard line. Jalen Naylor makes another big play. He had the touchdown before. This one's a big 4th down conversion. And the Vikings move the 6. Another nice throw for J.J. McCarthy. That's a nice throw right there. Those are the ones you see the potential with J.J. McCarthy. Then you see some other ones where it's like, and why did we think this guy was going to be good? Like, that's one where, that's a nice throw. Here he finds Jefferson on the slant, makes a man miss, and picks up 11. Another 1st down for the Vikings. And Jefferson's actually so lucky right there. The safety didn't just run through him, and instead kind of ran past him. So she was taking a huge hit. But a first and goal, McCarthy fakes it to Mason, rolls right. McCarthy throws, that is knocked down. Oh yeah, it was knocked down. McCarthy still had it. I had no idea where the ball was. But it got knocked down at the line, bounced back to McCarthy, I guess. Actually, there's a flag down now. So let's see what this is. Well, the quarterback was in the pocket. We got illegal contact going against the Cowboys. So that brings him half the distance to the goal. And automatic first down. They called it against Kenneth Murray, middle linebacker for the Cowboys. I'm pretty sure they called it on the wrong guy. But either way, it's a first and goal for the Vikings now on the 1 yard line. McCarthy throws, end zone. Oh, man. Jefferson was right there and he missed it. That's when Jefferson should probably catch. Yeah, this one goes right through his hands. A drop from Justin Jefferson. I mean, McCarthy also threw that like as hard as he could. But that one should be caught. For Jefferson right there. So it's now second and goal from the 1. They bring Addison across the formation. They hand it off to the fullback, Ham. And he walks in for a touchdown. The run with the fullback fools the Cowboys. And the Vikings tie the game up at 23. And the extra point will put him back in front. But it's a nice drive right there. They've got 8 plays, 73 yards. And C.J. Ham, the fullback, with the touchdown for the Vikings. And here is the extra point. And it is good. So 24-23. The Vikings retake the lead. And they're now up by 1. After a nice touchdown drive. And there's now a minute 12 to go in the third quarter. But a really nice drive right there. Now 24-23 with a minute 12 to go in the third quarter. For C.J. Ham, that's probably his first touchdown of the year because I don't really think he gets the ball much. It's his first carry of the year. Forget his first touchdown. It's his first carry of the season. And he did score last year. He ran the ball 2 times for 10 yards last year. One of them was a touchdown. His career high in rushing yards in a season is 34. Where he ran it 7 times for 34 yards. In 2021. Keep that lead and outscore those Cowboys. We'll have to see if they can do it, but the Vikings, they've actually looked pretty good. This is just the second game of the season for C.J. Ham where he's actually had a touch in the game. The other game against the Eagles, back on October 19th, he caught a pass for 5 yards. But that's it. He's really used as like a traditional fullback. Doesn't really get the ball much. But he makes the most of the opportunity right there. And he scores a touchdown. Alright, now they're back from commercial. 24-23, Vikings lead. A minute 12 to go in the third quarter. And this kick goes into the end zone, and Turpin takes a knee. So the ball comes out to the 35. So the Cowboys offense back onto the field. Now down by a point. George Pickens, a very quiet game last week. Or, not a very quiet game, but he still caught 5 passes, but just 37 yards. Tonight, just 1 catch for 10 yards. A very quiet game for his standards, especially what he's done this year. Been one of the most productive receivers in the NFL. But a 1st and 10 from the 35. And Prescott turns around and hands this off to Javonte Williams, and he's got a great run right there, 11 yards on 1st down, giving the Cowboys another 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 45. Another handoff. Williams cuts up the middle. And again, he got a lot of space. And another 8 yards, maybe 9 yards there for Javonte Williams. Another really nice run. That's 18 or 19 yards on 2 carries to start this drive for the Cowboys. So 2nd and 1. The Cowboys don't have to snap this before the quarter ends. Let's see if they do. There's 10 seconds left in the third. The Vikings show blitz here. Everybody lined up to want a scrimmage. And it looks like the Cowboys might take this to the 4th quarter. Yeah, they will. So it brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. We enter the 4th quarter with the Vikings leading by 1, 24-23. Did you enjoy watching the Army-Navy game? Yeah, I did. I always love watching that game. I didn't see a ton of that game, but I was able to see some of it. But yeah, those games are always fun. Even though, I mean, they're always usually so low scoring because there's like very few possessions in the game with how long each drive takes. Still fun to watch. But we wait for them to come back from commercial as we start the final quarter. Vikings up by 1. We'll see if they can hold the lead. The Cowboys with a great start to this drive. And we'll see if they can keep it up. So 2nd and 1. Prescott under center. And they go back to the ground here. Williams this time not as much space. He's taken down after the end of just about a yard. Looks like he's going to be half a yard short of a first down. So it brings up 3rd and inches here for the Cowboys. We'll still call it 3rd and 1, but same idea. So it's a 3rd and 1. Prescott under center. They bring Lamb in motion. Prescott hands off. Williams first down. Javonte Williams gains 2 on the run straight ahead. And the Cowboys move the chains. George Pickens this year is 3rd in the NFL with 1,189 receiving yards. Although a very quiet game today. Just 10 yards and 1 catch. Really hasn't even been targeted that often. Just 2 or 3 targets that I can think of. Vikings bring a blitz here. Prescott. Ball is out on the hit. They're going to roll this incomplete. So it brings up 2nd and 10. But that was a very quick pressure right there for the Vikings. Harrison Smith is unblocked off the edge. Yeah, I think this is a throw. Looks like his arm starts to come forward. Here's a throw to the outside for Pickens. Just talking about how he doesn't get the ball. There he gets the ball. And picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Does bring up 3rd down, though. That's the 5th target of the day for Pickens. His 2nd catch for 16 yards. So 3rd and 4. Again, the Vikings crowd the line of scrimmage. They show blitz. They've done that a lot today. Sometimes they've brought the blitz. Other times they've dropped out. This time they'll drop out and bring 4. Prescott gets pressured anyway. And he gets dropped for a sack. Actually, he never actually goes to the ground. But Prescott gets sacked. And that is a big sack right there on 3rd down. It makes the field goal now a lot harder. I mean, you do have Brandon Aubrey, so it's not that hard. Although we did see him miss before. But he missed from 51. This is going to be 59. Wow. A 59-yard field goal for Brandon Aubrey. And Aubrey's kick is no good. He misses it wide to the right. By a lot. And it stays 24-23. That is a bad sack right there for Dak Prescott. Because, I mean, you don't technically knock yourself out of field goal range, but you could cost yourself 3 points. Because, I mean, who knows if this kick would be different. If it was, I don't know, say 50. As opposed to 59. Or it would have been 55. I mean, probably not, because that kick was not going in anyway. Even from a few yards shorter. But it's the 2nd miss of the day for Aubrey. I wonder if that's the first time in his career that's happened. I'll have to look that up. Here's the toss to Jordan Mason to the left side for the Vikings. And they pick up about 3 yards. I would probably think it is the first time Aubrey's missed multiple field goals in his career. Both are from 50 plus years, so it's understandable. But you're just not used to seeing him miss. But a 2nd and 7 here for the Vikings. Empty backfield for J.J. McCarthy. And McCarthy going to look to throw. McCarthy steps up, breaks a sack, and he's going to try to run it here. And he dives ahead. Saying he got hit in the head, although he dove ahead, didn't slide. So there's different rules right there. But it's a first down. Alright, so it's actually not the first time Aubrey has missed 2 field goals in his career. In the final game of his first year against the Commanders in Week 18, he went 1 for 3. But McCarthy going to look to throw. Here he finds Josh Oliver for a first down, and Oliver has some space after the catch, and he'll get to the 23-yard line. And a nice pickup right there for the Vikings offense as they move the sticks with 10:40 to go in the fourth quarter. So 1st and 10 here. McCarthy's now thrown for 222, a touchdown and an interception after that last completion. Gonna look to throw again here off play action. And he throws the outside. That pass is... Oh, he caught! It's caught by Hawkinson at the 4-yard line. I thought that might have gotten picked. Somehow it gets around or through the defender's hands. I'm not sure what happens. And it ends up being caught by TJ Hawkinson for a first down. And puts the ball on the 4-yard line. Wow, what a catch for TJ Hawkinson. I thought that might have gotten picked. Because it looks like the defender's trying to make a play on the ball, but just misses it. That's what my defenders always do when I play Madden. I play go get the ball, and they go behind the receiver. McCarthy throws outside, caught wide open. Jalen Naylor with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Vikings extend their lead. It's now 30-23, about to be 31 after the extra point. 5 plays, 51 yards. Another nice drive right there for the Vikings. And this is now back-to-back 30-plus point games for the Vikings offense. And here's Will Reichard for the extra point. And it is right down the middle. 31-23. The Vikings lead the Cowboys. It's the, I believe, 3rd touchdown of the game for McCarthy, 2 passing, 1 rushing. And that's now back-to-back 3 touchdown games for McCarthy. That's back-to-back 31-point games. For the Vikings offense. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. Now an 8-point lead for the Vikings. We got 9:12 to go here in the fourth quarter. So the kick is going to be returned from the goal line. Here's Cavante Turpin. And Turpin on the return, trying to get to the outside, able to turn the corner. Turpin, there he goes down the sideline. A flag comes in, but Turpin inside Viking territory. Another huge return for Cavante Turpin. But this one might come back. It will come back. During the return, we got a hold against the Cowboys. Against number 29, C.J. Goodwin. But Cavante Turpin's had some huge kick returns today. This is another one, although gets called back for a hold. So instead of starting inside Viking territory, they start at their own 10-yard line. With 9:03 to go in the fourth. Prescott, pressured, rolling to his right. Pump fakes. Now throws the flat, caught by Pickens. And he gains about 18. Nice play right there. Cowboys have a new left tackle in the game. Their starting left tackle is already their second string left tackle. Because Tyler Guyton's out. But he's on the bench. And here's Javonte Williams with another nice run. Gaining about 13. Or maybe more than that. But another nice run. Let's see what's going on here. Nate Thomas got the start at left tackle for the Cowboys. It's a left arm injury. And hopefully he's okay. There's a handoff to Javonte Williams up the middle. And he'll get a yard, maybe 2. Javonte Williams, 15 carries for 91 yards and a touchdown. He's run the ball really effectively. And it's definitely a good thing with the Cowboys that when he got hurt before, it wasn't a serious injury. So it's 2nd and 8 here. Prescott in shotgun, back to his right. Prescott looks to throw. Prescott throws the flat, caught by Fournette. Nice move after the catch. Makes another one. And he'll gain about 8. And a Cowboy first down. Ryan Fournette, 4 catches for 40 yards. So 1st and 10 from the Viking 48. Prescott in shotgun, back to his left. Prescott can look to throw, roll to his left, flag flies, probably going to be a hold. And Prescott finds Davis in the flat for about 12 to 15 yards, somewhere in that range. Another first down. But this one's going to come back. A hold called against the Cowboys. It's against the new left tackle of the game, replacing Nate Thomas. So 1st and 20. Prescott in shotgun back to his right. Ball down their own 42 after the penalty. Prescott quickly pressured and throws incomplete, looking for CeeDee Lamb. So it brings up 2nd and 20. So it's 2nd and 20. Prescott in shotgun back to his left. 6:03 to go in the 4th quarter. Again, the Vikings crowd the line of scrimmage. They've pretty much shown this look all game. This time they bring the blitz. Prescott throws outside. He's caught by Lamb. Crosses midfield. Makes a man miss. And he'll get to the 45-yard line. Nice catch and run right there for CeeDee Lamb. Got about 13 yards. And it brings up 3rd and about 7. So Prescott in shotgun back to his right. They get to the line quickly here on 3rd down. Vikings rush 4. Prescott pressured. Checks down. Oh, Davis dropped it. He wasn't getting the 1st down anyway, but Davis drops the ball. So it's now 4th and 7 with 5.5 minutes to go. 5:35 to be exact. So it's 4th and 7. And they're going to go for it. They're down by 8. The Cowboys are 3 of 3 on 4th down today. I love this decision to go for it. I mean, Aubrey's already not having his best game, but a field goal really doesn't do you a whole ton right here. Being down 8 points. Especially when this is a 62-yard field goal you're talking about. Prescott pressured, steps up. Prescott throws, that is caught, but he's short of the sticks. They got 6, needed 7. And the Vikings defense going to stop him a yard short and force a turnover on downs. Wait a minute. Did they give him the 1st down here? If they did, this is not the right call. Because they show it again. He did not get there. He has to fully get to the 38-yard line. He catches it with the ball as he's facing it backwards, and he doesn't even get to the 30-yard line, the 38-yard line. So there's no shot the ball does. What do they call this? Alright, they did call he was short. So they got 6, needed 7. And the Vikings' injured player is Jonathan Grenard. I was hopeful he's okay. Very important player of this defense. But hopefully he's okay. And the opportunity here for the Vikings to potentially extend their lead. But we wait for them to come back from commercial. The Vikings get the ball back. I just realized that means I should probably switch this. Sorry. Got something in my eye. Alright. But the Vikings get the ball back here, 5.5 minutes to go, and they start this drive with a run play. Jordan Mason straight up the middle for a gain of about 3. So they show the injury for Grenard right here. Not really sure what happens, but hopefully he's okay. So it's a 2nd and 7 here for the Vikings. McCarthy under center. They go I formation. Mason is the back. And he gets the ball here running to the right side. Mason looking for a cutback lane, won't find one. And he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. And now we got Quinnen Williams down on the play for the Cowboys. That is not good. Hopefully he's okay. He's been really good for the Cowboys since coming over at the trade deadline. So hopefully he's okay. 4:33 to go in the 4th quarter. Let's see what happens here. Looks like he might get kicked in the helmet. Because he's on the ground, the defender's trying to go make a play. That might be what happens. But I mean, whatever happens, hopefully he's okay. And that's also a big loss for the defense because but hopefully Quinnen Williams is okay. But we still wait for them to come back from commercial. An 8-point Vikings lead. Alright, now they're back. It's a 3rd and 7 here for the Vikings. Each team still with all 3 timeouts. So it's 3rd down and 7. McCarthy and shotgun back to his right. McCarthy going to look to throw. McCarthy gets pressured, throws underneath, caught by Hawkinson, and Hawkinson tries to get to the first down. He tries to dive for it, but it looks like they're going to mark him about a yard short. He tries to dive for it, almost lost the ball, and yeah, he's a little bit short. I don't really think he got a great spot from the official, but he is short. But the Vikings got the offense out there. They're going to look to go for it right here. 4th and 1, 3.5 minutes to go. It's a 4th down and 1. So they're just going to call a timeout right here as the play clock expires with 3:20 to go. And we'll have to see what they do end up doing right here. I don't go for this. I mean, your defense has been playing pretty well here in the second half. I don't go for it. I punt it away because if you don't get it here, well, they're going to go for it. But if you don't get it here, you give them the ball inside Viking territory already. But they will go for it. Kevin O'Connell sends J.J. McCarthy back onto the field. They get aggressive. I would not go for it. But the Vikings will go for it. I mean, they don't really have anything to lose at this point. They're already out of the playoff race, so I get it. But a 4th and 1. Really 4th and half a yard. McCarthy hands off. Jones up the middle. First down. Aaron Jones moves the sticks to the 48-yard line. And the Vikings get aggressive on 4th down, and it works. Aaron Jones gains 3 needed a yard. And the Cowboys call their first timeout with 3:15 to go in the 4th quarter. They actually put a second back on the clock to make it 3:16 to go in the 4th quarter. But the Vikings, they get aggressive. It works right there. So it's now 1st and 10 from the Cowboy 48. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. McCarthy under center. Jones is the back. And again, a handoff to Aaron Jones. And just about 2 yards here. And there's the second timeout for the Cowboys. For the Cowboy defense, it's their 7th game allowing more than 30 points, or 30-plus points. That is tied for the most in the NFL with the Bengals and Raiders. 2 more defenses that are pretty bad. Bengals defense is probably worse, and that's hard to do. The Bengals and Cowboys are like the exact same team. Both teams can score a ton of points, but they're always going to give up a ton of points. So 2nd and 8 here. The Vikings going to hand it off here. Jones again cuts up the middle. Aaron Jones first down to the 30-yard line. Ball comes out at the end. The ball came out. The Cowboys have it, but they're going to rule Aaron Jones down before the ball popped free. Yeah, he's definitely down before he loses the ball. Yeah, for sure. So the Cowboys going to challenge it. I mean, why not? Because you call a timeout here anyway. If you challenge it and don't get it, you just use the timeout and don't win the challenge. If you challenge it and get it here, you get the football. So, I mean, I definitely understand that thinking there if you're the Cowboys. But here, they showed this before. The remaining schedule for both NFC East contenders. The Eagles go at Commanders, at Bills, then home against the Commanders. The Cowboys go home against the Chargers, at Washington, at the Giants. So it's going to be interesting, but it looks like the Eagles will win that division. Both teams with one tough game. For the Cowboys, that's the Chargers. For the Eagles, that's the Bills. And then two pretty winnable games. Eagles with 2 games against the Commanders. Cowboys with the game against the Commanders and Giants. So 1st and 10 here from the 30. Handoff here, Jones. No gain. Actually lost a yard here. Brings up 2nd and 11, but the clock's going to run here quite a bit. The Cowboys are out of timeouts. Denver does it again. Yeah, I saw that. Another win for the Broncos. What's that, 11 in a row now? They're looking really good. Bo Nix also had a great game. I saw that, with over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. That was a pretty good game. So a 2nd and 11 here for the Vikings. McCarthy hands off. Jordan Mason gets the carry here. And again, not much space. And that's going to bring us to 2-minute warning. His best game yet, yeah. I mean, he played really well. It might be the best game of his career. I mean, it's only his 2nd year. But I mean, if Bo Nix can play like this every week, or it doesn't even have to be this good every week, but if he can just be more consistent from week to week, I mean, this Broncos offense is really good, and we already know how good their defense is. So Bo Nix, he also threw for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns last year against the Falcons, and he did that against the Chiefs last year as well. But it is definitely one of the best games of his career. Best game of the year, though, for sure. Speaking of best games, J.J. McCarthy's had a nice game today. 250 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So a 3rd and 11 here for the Vikings. McCarthy under center. They hand it to Aaron Jones, and Jones met in the backfield and dropped for a 4-yard loss back to 35. So that's going to bring up 4th and long for the Vikings. But they can wind this all the way down and then call a timeout before they attempt a field goal right here. I was also shocked the Bills come back down 21-0. Yeah, me too. I mean, the Bills, I thought they were going to get destroyed because the Patriots, I mean, they've just been so good. They were dominating that game to that point. And then Bills, they just started to come back a little bit. And then I was very surprised to see that. But that Patriots loss is also pretty big because now the Broncos have the top seed in the AFC and they're no longer tied. I mean, I know the Broncos did have the 1st seed based on tiebreakers, but now they're up by a game. And now the Patriots and Bills are only separated by 1 game in the AFC East. So if the Patriots, if they slip up one of the final 3 games, the Bills win out, the Bills can stay on top of the division and win their 6th division title in a row. But it's 4th and 15 here for the Vikings. This is a 53-yard field goal try to pretty much put this game away. And the kick for Will Reichard is good. From 53 yards away, Reichard nails it. And it puts him up 34-23. With a little over a minute to go in the fourth quarter. So that pretty much seals it. And that'll be back-to-back wins for the Vikings against NFC East teams as well. With actually an opportunity to make it 3 in a row if they beat the Giants next week. KC also out. Yeah, that's a big one too. I mean, they're going to miss the playoffs first time since 2014. And Mahomes also tore his ACL. After that field goal, Will Reichard's now tied for second in the NFL with 9 field goals made of at least 50 yards. It is Aubrey, Reichard, and Jason Myers of the Seahawks with 9, and then Chase McLaughlin of the Buccaneers with 10 from 50 plus. Yeah, Mahomes' injury that's big, because, I mean, who knows what that means for next year. I think the ACL recovery time period is 9 to 12 months. 9 months puts him pretty much at week 1. It puts him a couple weeks into the season. Maybe a little after week 1, now that I think about that. Prescott going to look to throw here. Steps up. Takes a shot downfield. It's picked off. No, it's dropped. Harrison Smith had a chance on it, but he dropped it. And it's 2nd and 10. So the Cowboys technically still alive. Ryan Fournette becomes a defensive back pretty much right there. He's able to knock it away from Harrison Smith. So 2nd and 10 here. Prescott got to roll to his right. On the run. Prescott throws open receiver here. I don't know who that is. To the 40-yard line. Number 81 there for the Cowboys. And we got an injured Viking player down on the field. It's Isaiah Rodgers. Hopefully he's okay. The injury stops the clock with 44 seconds to go. Will I stream the college football playoffs? Yeah, I'll be streaming the playoffs. Be streaming Friday night, Saturday, although not all day Saturday, because I've got some place to go later in the day, so I'll only be streaming the 12 o'clock game, the first game this Saturday, but otherwise, I'm streaming every playoff game for college. That is the plan. River's so excited to be back, even if he lost. Yeah, I didn't see a ton of that game, although I did see the Seahawks won by making 6 field goals. That's kind of crazy. I think it's still crazy that Phillip Rivers is back in the NFL at 44 years old. He is quite old. But a 1st and 10 here. Prescott going to look to throw. 44 seconds to go. Prescott steps up. Throws downfield. That pass is caught by CeeDee Lamb at the 22-yard line. 35 seconds left. Prescott going to look to throw. Throws end zone too far, incomplete. But the Cowboys are going to send on the field goal team right now. Aubrey's already missed 2. And I mean, if he hasn't missed 2 field goals today, this game looks entirely different. Because you're talking about it being 34-29 right now. As opposed to 34-23. And you're talking about a 1-score game. But Aubrey here from 41 yards to give them a slight chance. They'll have to get this, an onside kick, and then a touchdown. And this kick for Aubrey is good. Make it 34-26. I saw him post-game doodle 60. Yeah, I saw him. I saw him, the clip of him walking around pregame. It looks like he's a coach out there. He does not look like he's a player. It's actually crazy. He came back, and he's still playing. So we got 19 seconds left. "19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. It's an 8-point game. Cowboys need the onside kick to have a chance. So let's see if they can get the onside kick. And it is going to be recovered by the Vikings. Aubrey kind of faked him out right there. Looks like he was going to kick to the right side. Ended up kicking it left. But the tight end Oliver. We actually didn't recover that cleanly right away. It went through his arms, but hit his body. But he was able to recover it. But McCarthy takes a knee, and that will do it. The Vikings beat the Cowboys 34-26. Improved to 6-8 on the season. The Cowboys, they fall to 6-7-1. Final score 34-26. Pretty entertaining game. Better than I expected. My first reaction when I saw this game was on Sunday night last week, was like, oh man, really? The Vikings and Cowboys? But I mean, the game actually wasn't terrible. JJ McCarthy played a good game. So it's 34-26 the final. And the Vikings have now won back-to-back games. You had Dallas? Yes, so did I. Good call, bro. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night as well. So glad they won. Minnesota needs this for the morale of the fans. Yeah. I mean, that's now back-to-back wins for the Vikings. And, I mean, they could make it 3 in a row against the Giants next week. Then, I mean, they do have the Lions and Packers to end the year. But, I mean, even if they go 7-10, yeah, 7-10 that would be. It's not great, but a couple wins at the end of the year for McCarthy looks better. I mean, nice game last week, nice game tonight. That's definitely promising. Heading into next season as well. But last week, McCarthy with 163 and 3 touchdowns. Tonight, another 3 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing, and 250 passing yards. Which is actually career high. Now, he did throw a pick, although, I mean, the positive thing is you can't really blame the interception on him. The pass got knocked down at the line of scrimmage, or tipped at the line of scrimmage. But, I mean, definitely looks like... looks like McCarthy and the Vikings offense might be heading in the right direction. But final score 34-26. Ends up being a pretty good game. But that's going to do it for this stream, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like this stream, subscribe, turn on notifications. I got a lot of content on the way. I'll be live tomorrow night for... Yeah, tomorrow we got... Who do we have? I think the Dolphins and Steelers. Let's see. Yeah, Dolphins and Steelers tomorrow. So that one, again, not the greatest game you wouldn't think, although this game, better than expected. At least I think so. Hopefully tomorrow produces the same result. But yeah, I'll be live tomorrow for Dolphins and Steelers. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night. Got a lot of content on the way. And I will see you guys in the next video.